Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Last session, we have completed company settings. And today's session, we will start Masterfiles. In Masterfiles, we will create customers, suppliers, items, bank accounts, GL accounts, and fixed assets, budgets. Okay, first, we will go to customer master files. You can create customers from customers, click add customer, or you can go to customers, list of customers. Click add a customer. After that, you can enter your customer name. If you have any customer category, you can create customer category. Now, for an example, if you want to categorize your customers by region or by product wise, you can categorize your customers. The customer category is mainly used for reporting purposes. Now, if you want to generate any customer sales report by customer category, you can use this customer category. From these reports, you can create your you can generate customer category wise report. And there's another option, cash sale customer. If you tick this option, other fields will deactivate because for cash sales, cash customers, you don't want to maintain their contact details. If you untick this option, you can enter customer details. Next, opening balances. Now, if you are implementing the system for an oil company, there may be all customers with customer balances. So if you are implementing the system for all company and that customers has opening balances, you can enter their opening balances here. And you can select opening balance as a date. Now, for an example, if you are implementing the system from 1st of April 2021, you can select opening balance as a date as 31st March 2021. Right. Next, active. Now, if you take this option, that customer is active. Now, sometimes after you in future, if you want to deactivate to a customer, you can untick this option. Now, for an example, you have some customers and some customers may not paying you properly, and you want to block that customers. So in that case, you can inactivate those customers by unticking this option. Next, credit limit. If you are giving credit limit for your customers, you can enter that credit limit. And also, if you have entered any credit limit and when your customer exceed that credit limit, you can get an alert. We will check an example. Now in this customer, credit limit is 150,000. Now we will enter an invoice for that customer. Go to tax invoice and enter tax invoice. Select the customer. We'll enter 200,000. Credit limit is 150,000. We will enter invoice for 200,000. Now, when we save that invoice, system will pop up a message. Your credit limit will be exceeded. Would you like to continue? If you want to continue, you can click yes and you can continue. If you want to close this invoice, you can select no and you can discontinue this invoice. Next, tax reference. Now, if you are a tax registered company and your customer also tax registered customer, you can enter customer's tax registration number. And if you enter tax registration number here, and if you want to print that tax invoice or tax registered number in your layouts, you can use this tax reference number. Next, sales rep. If you have any sales rep, you can assign that sales rep to this customer. Right. Now, you can select that custom sales rep here, and when you are entering any transactions, that sales rep will apply for that customer. We will try example now. We'll go to list of customers. Now this customer has a sales rep. When you are entering any transactions, that sales rep will display. And if you want to change when you are processing the transaction, you can change the sales rep. If you assign any sales rep, it will easy when you are processing transaction, it will display automatically. Right. Next, auto allocate receipt to oldest invoices. Now, sometimes your customers may have several invoices, and when you are paying, you want to allocate that receipt to oldest invoices. If you take this option, you can allocate that receipt to your customers' oldest invoices. Now, for an example, like when you are paying electricity bill, telephone bill, they will allocate your payment to your oldest invoices. Even though now, for an example, if you have January, February, March outstanding, bills outstanding, when you are paying in March, they will allocate your payment to January outstanding invoice. Like that, if you want to allocate your customer receipt to oldest invoices, you can tick this option. We will check example. Now for this customer, we have ticked this option to allocate receipt to all list invoices. We will enter an invoice, or we will enter customer receipts. Go to customers, transactions, customer receipts. Click add receipt. Select the customer. Now, this customer has several outstanding invoices. Okay, and also you can sort these outstanding date wise, or this has sort as oldest invoice wise. Now you can see first invoice 24th June 2020, and this has sorted from this document number. And if you want to sort date also you can sort, and you can enter your receipt amount here. We will enter 125,000. Now you can see these receipt or this receipt automatically allocated to oldest invoices. We'll check again. Now we have several invoices, outstanding invoices. We will enter an amount. System will allocate to that receipt allocated to oldest invoices. Now, if you untick that option, right, this customer, we untick this option. Okay, in this case, system not allocated that receipt to oldest invoices because this customer, we have unticked this option. And if you want to allocate your receipt or customer receipts to oldest invoices, you can tick this option. And if you want to manually select that outstanding or allocate your receipt to outstanding invoices, you can untick this option. Okay, I'll repeat it again. If you want to automatically allocate customer receipts to your oldest invoices, you can tick this option. And if you want to manually allocate receipts to outstanding invoices, you can untick this option. Right. Next, exclude from debtors manager. Now, debtors manager is it's an add-on module. You can activate that debtors manager module from my profile. And upgrade. Enter one here, and you can click next, and you can upgrade your debtors manager module. After you activate your debtors manager module, you can set workflow for that debtors manager. Now, for an example, if you want to send outstanding invoice reminders or overdue invoice reminders, you can use this debtors manager module, and you can set dates. Then this date system will send a reminder for those outstanding invoices customers. You can set dates like this. You can set date and tick send emails. If you set this workflow, system will send outstanding reminders for customer outstanding. And if you tick this option, those customers will exclude from debtors manager. If you tick this option, those customers will exclude from debtors manager and system will not send outstanding reminders for those customers. If you want to send reminders, you can untick this option. And if you don't want to send outstanding invoice reminders, you can tick this option. Right. Next, new invoices on hold. If you tick this option, your users cannot invoice for those customers. If you tick this option, your users cannot enter new invoices for these customers. And for control purposes now, sometimes if your customer has long outstanding or if they exceeded the credit limit, if you want to block, you can block by ticking this new invoices on hold tick box. Right, those things you can do when you are creating customers. Next, we will move to customer details, and this customer creation tab has several tabs: details, activity, additional contacts, notes, user-defined fields, personal information, sales graphs, codes, sales orders, invoices, and report layouts. Now, explanation purposes, I'll open a customer with transactions. Now, if you want to create a customer, you can enter customer name and you can save, but it's better to enter these details when you are creating customer. Right. I have opened this customer. Now, in details, you can enter customer postal address, customer delivery address. And if you want, you can, if your postal and delivery address are similar or same address, you can copy from postal address. And also, you can add this customer location in Google Maps. And and if you want to deliver goods or if you want to send any documents, you can use this map. Right? That you can use this Google Map. Next, customer contact details. From here, you can enter your customer contact details. Contact name, email address, telephone, mobile, fax, web address. And you can click this link, and if you want to make a Skype call, you can create Skype call, and you can create email by clicking this link, and you can go to their website by clicking this web address link like that. By clicking this link, you can contact them. And also, if you have enter any contact name, I think you can remember when you are designing these email signatures. Last session we have completed these email signatures. Here you can see this after here there's a contact name, and if you enter contact name in your email template, that contact name will pick from this contact name. Okay. If you enter any name here, that name will pick for email body. Next, there are few tick boxes. Invoices can be viewed online. Now, first session we have completed this customer zone. If you tick this option, enable your account in customer zone, your customers also can view their transactions online. Okay? Now, if you enable this option, your all customers can view their statement online. Now, if you want to block any customer viewing their statement online, you can untick this option. Okay. These settings for all customers, and if you want to block any customer view online their statement, you can untick from here. Next, send outstanding invoice reminders. You can send outstanding invoice reminders from Debtors Manager. And if you want to block or if you don't want to send outstanding invoice reminders, you can untick this option. For this customer, if you don't want to send outstanding invoice reminders, you can untick this option. And if you don't want to send overdue invoice reminders, you can untick this option. If you want to send, you can tick. If you don't want to send, you can untick this option. Right. Next, business registration number. You can enter customer's business registration number here. Next, GST status verified. You can use this field for if your customer registered for VAT and VAT registration date, you can enter here. Right. Next, default settings. Now, if you set these default settings, it will apply for your customer transactions. Now, there are few options. Statement distributions. You can send your customers statements via email or print, or you can print an email, or you can select none. And one important thing, if you haven't entered any email address here, please select print as your statement distribution method. And if you haven't entered any email address, you cannot save that customer. Okay. If you haven't entered any email address here, and if you select email, you cannot save the customer. Therefore, if you are not entering any email address, please select print. Next, default discount. If you are regularly giving discounts for your customers, you can create, or when you are creating the customer, you can enter that default discount. Now for this customer, we have set 10% discount. Now every time you are enter any customer quotations or customer tax invoice, that rate will apply for that customer. Okay, now you can see 10% discount will apply for that customer. And when you are processing the transaction time, if you want, you can change this discount percentage. Next, default price list. Now for each, if you are selling your items at different prices for different customers, you can create price list. And if you create price list, you don't want to change that prices when you are processing invoices or quotation. Now for an example, you may have clients, wholesale customers and retail customers. You are giving wholesale customers at a reduced price and retail customers higher price. Now, if you are selling your items at different prices, you can create price list. Okay, under company settings, general settings, item settings, you can create price list. And when you are creating customers, you can link that relevant price list for this customer. Then when you are invoicing for that customer, based on this price list, system will display the prices. Next, default tax rate. If your customer is a tax registered customer, you can select the tax rate. And when you are in the transactions, that tax rate will apply for that customer. Next, due date for payment. Now here, this customer has 45 days. So system will automatically calculate the due date. Next, if you have activated this multi-currency module, you can select the customer's currency. You can actually, multi-currency is an add-on module. You can activate that multi-currency module from administration, my profile. Click upgrade. Enter one for multi-currency and click next and finish. Okay, then you can activate your multi-currency. After you activate your multi-currency, go to multi-currency section. Multi-currency, you can first add home currency, and after that you can add other currencies. After you add currencies, system will automatically update that exchange rates. And one important thing, after you set your customer's currency, and if you done any transaction or if you enter any transaction, after that you cannot change this customer's currency. Therefore, when you are creating the customer, please carefully select the customer currency. Okay, from here you can select customer's currency. Okay, now when you are entering these default settings, it will easy for you when you are enter any transactions. These details will apply for your transaction. So for an example, you can set your price list, discount, and tax type, credit period. So those details will apply when you are processing transaction for that customer. And also, if you want to change when you are processing the transaction, you can change when you are processing this transaction. Okay, it will easy for you enter these default settings. So when you are enter any transaction, these default settings will apply for that transaction, such as discount, price list, and tax type. So you can reduce your data entry time by setting this default setting. Right. Next, activity. Now these details, additional context, notes, user-defined fields, personal information, you can enter details by yourself, but this activity, sales draft codes, sales orders, invoices will create from the system. You don't want to enter these details, system will automatically display these details. Right. Next, we will move to activity. From here, you can view your customer opening balance, customer adjustments, tax invoices, credit notes, customer receipts, and customer balances. Now, if you want to view detail, now for this customer, what are the tax invoices? By clicking these detail button, you can view that customer invoices. And also, if you want to view that source document also or main document, by clicking this detail link, you can view that document, or you can go to that transaction. Like that. If you want to view credit notes, customer adjustment, by clicking this link, you can view those transactions. Next, additional contacts. Now, when you are creating the customer, you have entered one contact name and telephone number. And if you want to add additional contacts, you can use this additional contacts tab, and you can enter additional persons to system. Okay, by clicking this plus mark, you can add additional contacts, and you can enter contact name, designation, telephone, fax, mobile numbers, and you can enter email addresses of that additional contact. And there are two tick boxes: OS invoices, outstanding invoices, and overdue invoices. Now, if you have activated that debtors manager module, and you want to send outstanding invoice reminders and overdue invoice reminders, and if you want to send outstanding invoice reminders and overdue invoice reminders to this additional contacts, you can tick this option. Okay, if you want to send outstanding invoice reminders and overdue invoice reminders to these additional contacts, you can tick these options. Next, you can add additional contacts by clicking this green color plus mark. And if you want to remove any additional contact, you can remove from by clicking this red color delete button. Like that, you can add additional contacts. And also, after you enter additional contacts, when you are sending emails, you can email to those additional contacts also. You can view that additional contacts here, and if you tick this tick box, you can send your documents to that additional contacts. Okay, next we'll move to Notes tab. Now from here, you can enter any reminders or notes you can enter here. You can enter entry date and action date. Now for an example, if you want to schedule a meeting with your customer, you can enter that meeting date here. And you can enter subject and description. And if you want to add any attachment, you can attach from here related to that meeting, or you can add any attachment and you can save. After that, when action date reads, it will display on your dashboard. From here, from to-do list, you can view your customer notes. Okay, when action date reads, you can view those notes from dashboard. And also you can add any number of notes by clicking this plus mark, and if you want to remove any note, you can delete. And also you can attach documents You can attach documents up to 2 MB and up to 5 attachments. Next, user-defined fields. Now you can enter customer details here, and if you want to add additional details for that customer, you can use this user-defined fields tab. From here, you can enter 3 text values, 3 numeric values, 3 yes no values, and 3 date values. Now, for an example, if you want to add customer birthday, you can enter here. Now, you can change these label names from company settings. Go to user defined fields, select customer, and from here you can rename your user defined fields. Right. Next, personal information. You can enter these details. Actually, this personal information only because of Data Protection Act. This will ask how many years you are keeping that customer's details, and if you want to extend, you can extend from here. Right. Next, sales graph. If you go to sales graph, system will display this customer's monthly sales comparing it last year. Okay. You can view those sales graph as a graph, and you can view values, and you can click these bars and you can drill down for that particular month, and also clicking this month also you can go to that document. Next, codes. Now if you click these codes, you can view your customer quotation relevant to for these customer quotations. Then you can view document number, customer reference, document date, status, and total for that quotation. Next, sales orders. You can view your customer sales orders from here. Next, invoices. You can view customer unpaid invoices from here. And if you want to include paid invoices, you can tick here. Next, report layouts. Now, when you are setting up your company settings here, you have set documents here, tax invoices, sales orders, quotations, purchase order documents you have set from here. Now, if you want to change for particular customer that invoice layout format, you can change it from here. Now, for an example, you are a tax registered company and you are issuing tax invoices, and sometimes you may need to invoice non-tax invoices. In that case, you can select or you can create a non-tax invoice, and for this customer, if you want to set non-tax invoice, you can set the layout from here. Okay, or else if you are a SWAT registered company, then you need to issue SWAT invoices for SWAT registered customer and VAT invoices for VAT registered customers. That case, if you are when you are setting up your company settings, if you select SWAT layouts here, and if you are creating VAT registered customer here, you can select the VAT format in here. Okay, based on your customer, you can select their invoice format from here. You can select quotation format, sales order format, tax invoice, credit note, customer statement, and delivery notes from here. After enter these details, you can save. Okay, and when you are creating a customer, you can enter a customer name and these details, and you can save. Uh, After you create customers and you have enter transactions, these fields will, or these tabs will apply, update. Okay, when you are creating customer, you can enter details, additional contacts, notes, and user defined fields, and other tabs, activity, uh, sales graph, codes, sales orders, invoices will update from the system. Okay, when you are creating customer, you can enter these details and you can save. Right, now you can practice how to create a customer. Okay, right. Like that, you can create customers. Next, we will move to how to create sales reps. Go to customers, list of sales reps. Click add sales reps. You can enter first name, last name, and email address of that sales rep, and you can enter telephone numbers, telephone and mobile numbers you can enter. After that, you can save your sales rep. And also, when you are creating customer time also, you can create sales rep. Select sales rep here and select add new sales rep. And from here also, you can enter that sales rep details and you can create a sales rep. Right. In addition to that, same way, if you want to add any notes for this sales rep, you can add here. And if you want to attach any documents, you can attach from here. At sales rep appointment letters or commission details, you can enter here. And also, after you create sales rep, when you are enter transactions, customer invoices, you can select that sales reps. And you can generate sales rep wise sales report. Right. Now you can create a sales rep. Okay. Next, we will move to customer categories. You can create customer categories from customers list, customer categories. By clicking add category, you can add customer category. You can enter customer category name here and save, then that customer category will create. After that, you can generate reports by customer categories. Right, now you can create customer category. Okay. After you create customer category, or you can create customer categories from here, and also you can create customer categories when you are creating customers. From here also you can select add new, and you can create customer category. Customer category mainly used for reporting purposes, and if you want to sort or if you want to filter any report from customer category, you can use that category. Right. After you create those master files, from this list you can view that uh, master file. For an example, if you want to view customers, you can go to customers list of customers. From here you can view your list of customers. You can view their name, category, balance, credit limit, contact details. These details you can view this from grid. And if you want to customize this grid, by clicking this customize grid button, you can customize this grid. If you want to add additional columns such as tax type, then other user defined fields, by ticking that column, you can add that column to this grid. And if you want to remove any column, by unticking this column, you can uh, remove from this grid. And also, if you want, you can sort this grid by clicking these headings. You can sort ascending or descending order. And if you want to sort by multi columns, you can use this option. Now, if you want to sort first name, then balance, you can select these levels and you can sort. You can add any number of columns here, and you can sort from that column order. Right. Next, if you want to filter, you can filter from here. Next, if you want to search any customer, you can type their name here and you can search. Next, actions. Now from these actions, you can quick view that customer. You can get a view their contact details, balance, sales history, outstanding, those details, invoices, you can view from here. Next, edit. If you want to edit customer details, you can, by clicking these actions and select edit, you can edit the customer. Next, delete. If you want to delete this customer, you can delete by clicking this delete button. And also, if your customer has transactions, you cannot delete that customer. Next, add invoice. If you want to create any invoice, you can, by clicking this add invoice, you can create an invoice for this customer. And by clicking add quote, you can enter quotation, and add sales order, you can add a sales order. And by clicking add receipt, you can enter customer receipt. And also by clicking this view statement, you can view customer statement. And also by clicking this customer name, you can edit your customer details. And you can see some inactivated buttons here. After you click, after you select any customers, these buttons will activate. If you want to delete more than one customer, you can select those customers, and by clicking delete button, you can delete those customers. And if you want to change these now these customers, these first three customers, inactivated customers, if you want to active again, you can select those customers. If you if you want to active customers, more than one customers at one time, you can select this mark as active, then tick this tick box and save. Then these customers will active like that. If you want to uh, active or inactive several customers at once, you can use this option. Next, update. Now by clicking this update button, you can change their these fields. Okay, now for an example, if you want to change customer category, you can select category here, update, and from category you can select that category. Then these customers category will change like that. Except address, other details you can change from here. Now for an example, if you want to change customer credit limit, sorry, customer layouts, invoice layout, you can select the layouts here, and you can select relevant layout and you can change. And if you want to change price list, you can change from here like that. If you want to change several customers at once, you can use this option. And after you create your customers, you can view how many customers you have created from this list. You can view. And also, if you have created any foreign customers, that customers balances and credit limits will display from customers currency. You can see this customer currency pounds and this customer currency in AED like that. If you have created foreign customers, that customers balance and credit limit will display from customers currency. Right. Next, we will move to sales reps. You can view sales reps from customers list of sales reps. Now here also you can customize this grid by clicking this customize grid button. And if you require any column, you can tick that column, and if you want to remove any column, you can untick that column. And here also you can sort sales rep by clicking these headings. You can sort ascending or descending order. And after you click this sales rep, this delete button will activate. If you want to delete, you can delete those sales reps. And from actions, you can edit or delete sales rep details. And from this multi-column sorting, you can sort more than one column. And from search, you can search any sales rep. And you can view how many sales reps you have entered. Okay, next, customer categories. You can view your customer categories from here, and by clicking this action, you can edit or delete your customer categories, and you can search your customer category here. And you can view how many customer categories you have created. It's all list you can export to CSV. You can export to CSV file. Okay, like that, we can create customer master files. We can create customers, sales reps, and customer categories. Right now, before move to suppliers, we will take a short break. Mm, we will take a 15-minute break, and we will start by 2:30. Okay, next we will move to supplier master files. From suppliers module, we can create suppliers and supplier categories. First, we will create suppliers. Okay, you can create suppliers by clicking this suppliers, add supplier, or you can click suppliers list of suppliers, and click add a supplier. From here, you can enter supplier name, and if you have supplier category, you can select the supplier category. You can create supplier categories based on your supplier location or supplier product wise. You can create your suppliers. And if you are implementing the system for an old company, you can enter supplier opening balance, and you can select opening balance as a date. Now there's an active tick box. After you enter transactions for this supplier, if you want to deactivate this supplier, by unticking this active tick box, you can inactivate your suppliers. Next, credit limit. If your supplier giving you a credit limit, you can enter the credit limit here. And if your supplier is a tax registered company, you can enter supplier's tax registered number. Next, auto allocate payments to oldest invoices. If you tick this option, when you are entering payments, those payments will allocate to oldest invoice. We'll check an example. Now, this supplier, we have tick this auto allocate payments to oldest invoices. We will enter supplier payment, go to suppliers, transactions, supplier payments. Click add supplier payment. Select the supplier. After you select the supplier, you can view supplier outstanding invoices. Now, this unpaid invoices sorted from date, and we will enter the amount here. Now you can see that payment allocated to oldest invoices. If you want to allocate manually, you can untick this option. And if you want to allocate your payments to oldest invoices, you can tick this option. After that, you can enter supply details. You can enter postal address, physical address, and if your supplier's postal address and physical address are same address, you can copy from postal address. And also, if you want to add to Google Maps, you can view from here. Next, contact name or contact details. Under contact details, you can enter supplier's contact details. First, you can enter contact name, and can enter email address, telephone number, mobile, fax, web address. And after you enter these details, if you want, you can create email from here, or you can call, or you can log into their website. And you can enter supplier's business registration number and their GST verified date or VAT verified date or VAT registered date. You can enter here. Next, default settings. Under default settings, you can enter supplier default discount, supplier default tax type, due date for payment, and currency. Now here you can enter default discount rate. If your supplier regularly giving you a discount, you can enter their discount rate here. And also when you are processing the transaction time also, you can change that default discount. Next, default tax type. From here you can select the default tax type. Next, due date for payment. If your supplier giving you credit period, you can enter that credit period. And when you are invoicing, or when you are enter supplier invoices, you can get this number of days credit period. And if your supplier is a foreign supplier, you can select the supplier's currency, or if it is a local or Sri Lankan rupees, you can select that currency. Here you can select the supplier's currency. And these default settings only use for that reduce your data enter time. Now if you enter discount here, when you are creating supplier transaction, that details will display. Now if you select this supplier, you can see that credit period set, default discount available, and tax rate also. If they have taxes, it will apply taxes. Like that, and also currency also available. LKR. This default settings, it will reduce your data entry time. Next, and also these details you can change when you are processing the transaction. After you enter these details, you can save this supplier. And if you have enter any contact name here, when you are processing your transaction, if you are emailing, that contact details will display here. You can set that email signatures from here. Right. Next, after you enter these details, you can save. For explanation purposes, I'll open a supplier with transactions. Okay. You can enter supplier details under this details tab, and there are few other tabs. First, activity. In activity tab, you can view supplier transactions. You can view supplier opening balance, supplier adjustment, supplier invoices, supplier returns, supplier payments, and supplier balances. And by clicking this detailed link, you can view their activities. And also from here also you can click the details and you can go to that source document for uh, the transaction. Okay, next, additional contacts. If you want to add additional contacts in addition to these contact details, you can add here. You can enter contact name, designation, telephone, fax, mobile numbers, and email address. If you want to add another contact, by clicking this plus mark, you can add. And if you want to remove any contact, you can delete by clicking this red color button. Then banking details, you can enter supplier banking details here, account holder name, account number, bank name, branch code, and account type. Next, notes. If you want to add any notes to this supplier, you can add here. For an example, if you want to arrange or schedule any meeting, you can add from here, and when action date reaches, it will display under dashboard. And also you can attach documents by clicking this add attachment button, and you can attach up to 5 attachments and up to 2 MB. Now if you want to attach any supplier agreements or supplier price list, you can attach from here. Next, user defined fields. From here you can add user defined fields. Now from here under details tab, you can enter supplier details. In addition to that, if you want to add any details, you can use this user defined fields. And you can customize this, or you can rename these labels from company settings, user defined fields, select supplier, and from here you can change that label name. Next, personal information. This also due to Data Protection Act. If you want to keep data, you can extend this removal date period, and you can extend your data retention period. Next, purchasers graphs. From here, you can view your supplier purchases. You can compare with current year and previous year. And by clicking these bars, you can drill down those transactions. Next, purchase orders. From here, you can view supplier purchase orders. You can view document number, order name, order number, document date, purchase value. By clicking this detail link, you can view the source document. Next, unpaid invoices. From here, you can view supplier unpaid invoices. You can view date, document number, reference number, due date, anticipated payment date, total for that invoice, and total outstanding. And from here, you can view the status of that unpaid invoices. Next, report layouts. From here, you can change supplier uh, transaction layout format. Now, if you want to add purchase order format, you can add from here. After you enter these details, you can save this supplier. Okay. After you create your suppliers, you can view the supplier list, and from this grid you can view supplier name, supplier category, balance, credit limit, contact name, email, active, auto allocate, default, and actions. Now if you want to customize this grid, by clicking this customize grid button, you can change. Okay, you can tick required columns and you can untick if you want to remove any column. And by clicking these headings, you can sort your suppliers. You can sort ascending or descending order. And if you want to sort by multi columns, you can sort from by clicking this multi column sorting button. You can select the column, and from here you can add levels. Next, you can filter from here suppliers I have brought from this month and today. And if you want to search any supplier, by type here, you can search suppliers. Next, actions. From here, you can quick view your supplier details, their purchase history, contact details, balances, transactions, and purchase history and supplier outstanding. Next, you can edit supplier details by clicking this edit button. Or you can edit supplier details by clicking this supplier name link. You can delete suppliers from by clicking this delete button. And if you want to add purchase order, supplier invoice or payment, by clicking these links, you can add those transactions. Next, you can see these inactivated buttons, delete, active, inactive, and update. If you want to delete more than one supplier, by selecting those suppliers, you can delete. And if suppliers has transactions, you cannot delete that supplier. You can inactive that supplier and mark as active, inactive. You can see here whether that supplier is active or inactive. If it is tick, that supplier is active supplier. And if you want to inactive, by clicking this mark as inactive and untick, you can inactivate those suppliers. If you want to active again, you can select and active. Next, update. By clicking this update button, you can select any column here, category, auto allocate, discount, and you can change those category at once. Now here category you can see. You have changed that supplier category at once. And also if you have foreign suppliers, You can view that supplier's balance and credit limit in supplier's currency. And you can view how many suppliers in your supplier list from these numbers. Okay, now you can create suppliers. Go to suppliers and click add supplier, and you can create suppliers. Okay, next we will move to supplier categories. Go to suppliers, select list and select supplier categories. Supplier categories mainly used for reporting purposes. When you are generating reports, you can generate your reports by supplier category. You can create a category by clicking this add category and enter name and save. After you create your supplier categories, you can view from here. You can view how many supplier categories you have created. Right, now you can create a supplier category. Right, and also when you are creating supplier time also, you can create supplier categories by clicking this category and click add new category. Right, next we will move to items. We'll create, we can create items, bundle items and item categories from this item module. First we will create items. You can create items from, go to items, add an item, or you can go to items list of items and click add item. Right, here you can create new item. First you need to enter item code. Next you can enter item description. Now, when you are creating item codes, please select or please set a very meaningful item codes, and it should be, if it is a simple code, it's easy for users to select items. Next, item category, you can select item category from here. For an example, you can create based on the sizes of that item category, or brand wise or product wise, you can create supplier categories. Next, if you have any opening balances, when you are implementing time, if you have any opening balance, you can enter opening cost of that item and quantity of that item. Okay, if you are implementing the system for all company, you may have opening balances. So if you have opening balances, you can enter opening cost and opening quantity, and you can select the opening quantity as a date. Next, item type, you can create physical items and service items from here. Now, if you are selling any goods, you can select as physical, and if you are providing any service items, you can select service items. And if you select service items, this opening quantity and opening quantity as date will not display, because for service items there's no quantities. Next, you can enter selling price of that item, and if that item has taxes, you can enter inclusive price. Now, if you enter exclusive price, system will calculate the inclusive price, and under units, you can enter units, whether it's numbers, uh, kilogram, or bottles, like that. Unit of measure you can enter here. Next, item accounts. Now here you can select uh, item accounts. Now, if you want to identify these item sales in a particular account, you can select that account. Now we'll open profit and loss report. You can generate profit and loss report from reports, financial statements, and profit and loss. I select all date range and view report. Now here you can see that under sales, there are few categories. Transport, weddings, like that, electricity, like that. There are few categories. Now, if you want to display under particular category, you can create sales account here. Now, for an example, for KIU, they want to identify in their P&L, they want to identify separately from science faculty how what's the income, then finance faculty, faculty of finance, what's the income, like that. They want to identify what are the income from different faculties. In that case, now for if you are creating finance faculty items here, any course here, you can create new sales account as finance. Then if you are entering any science faculty course, you can create sales account for faculty of science, like that. You can enter sales account. Now if you want to add all sales for one account, then you can select the sales account. And if you want to mention that different categories in sales account, you can create different sales account. Now for an example, if you are running a hotel, then you want to identify what is the food and beverage income, what is the accommodation income, what is the other services income, like that. If you want to identify those categories separately, Now, if you are creating breakfast, now you are creating breakfast item here. And when you are creating that breakfast item, you can select the sales account as food and beverage income. Then if you are creating a room account, you can select the accommodation income. Like that, you can create different sales account. And if you create different sales account, you can identify that sales in separately in the profit and loss report. Now here accommodation income, like that you can wedding transport income, like that you can view separately of sales. Next, cost of sales. Same way, sales account, you can create different sales account for different items. Now for breakfast, if you have any cost of sales, you can select F&B cost of sale. Then for rooms, accommodation cost of sales, like that you can create different cost of sales account. Then if you create a different sales cost of sales account, when you are selling that items, you can identify under cost of sales. Now here accommodation cost of sales, then transport cost of sales, you can separately identify. Next, inventory. If you want to add different inventory accounts, you can create from here. Then you can select item adjustment account. Now when you are doing any stock taking, sometimes there may be stocks may be not available as system balances. So in that case, you need to enter stock adjustments. And if you want to add stock adjustment for different accounts, you can create that stock adjustment accounts from here. Next, if tax is available, you can select tax type for this item. And if you have different price list, you can enter that price list here. Now, so for an example, if you are providing, if you are a KIU, that if they are giving different rates, for an example, the current existing students, they are giving different rate, and all students different rate, staff members, students different rates, like that. If you are providing different rates, you can enter that rates. Or else now for an example, if you are selling any product for your customers, you are selling at different prices. So your friends, you are giving different price, and wholesale customers, you are selling different price. Those prices you can enter here. Then when you are select that customer, that price, relevant price will display here. Now price list has 3 steps. Now first you need to create price list from company settings. General settings, item settings. From here you can create price list. Then next, when you are creating the item, you can enter the price. After that, when you are creating customer, you can select the price list. Okay, there are 3 steps. First, create the price list. Next, when you are creating items, you can enter the prices. After that, when you are creating the customer, you can link the relevant price list. If you follow these 3 steps, when you are invoicing for these customers, the relevant prices will display in the invoice. Right. Next, activity. For activity, I'll open an item with transactions. Right. Now here details and price list you need to enter. Next activity. From this activity you can view that items, opening balance, adjustments, tax invoices, supplier invoices, credit notes, supplier returns from here. Now after you click this detail button, you can view in details of that transaction, and you can see some quantities in minus values, because when you are enter adjustments, or when you are enter tax invoices, it will reduce from this your inventory, therefore it will minus. And if you are returning to suppliers, then also it will be a minus value. You can view the quantity and total cost of that value. Then next, notes. From here you can add note to your items. Next, user defined fields tab, you can enter additional details under user defined fields. Next, purchases graph. From here you can view that particular item purchases. You can compare with the current year and previous year. By clicking this bar, you can view detail. Next, sales graphs. You can view this item's sales graph. And here also you can click this bars and you can drill down. Next, sales versus purchases graph. Next tab, picture. If you want to add a picture for this item, you can add a picture by clicking this add picture button. After you enter these details, you can save this item. Okay. By entering code and description also, you can save this item. It's better if you can enter other details also. After you enter this selling price and cost, system will calculate gross profit margin and gross profit amount. Right, now you can create items. You can create items from items and add an item. You can take few minutes and practice how to create items. Okay, after you create items, you can view your list of items. You can view item code, description, category, item types, and if you want to customize this grid, you can create or you can customize by clicking this customize grid button. You can tick required columns and you can untick if you want to remove any column. Next, you can sort multi-columns, and by clicking these headings, you can sort your items ascending or descending order. By clicking these actions, you can quick view, edit, or delete your items. But if you have in transaction, those items you cannot delete. And after you select any item, you can view these buttons: delete, active, inactive, update, and create item bundle. Now, if you want to delete more than one item, you can select those items and you can delete. And if you want to inactive any items, you can untick this option and you can save. Next, if you want to update, you can update category, tax on sales, tax on purchases, sales account. Those things you can change from here. more than one item at once, you can change these columns. Next, create bundle item. Uh, we will discuss that bundle item when you are doing bundle items. And from here you can search any item, and you can filter from here, and you can view how many items you have created in this system. Right. Next, we will move to item categories. After create item categories, we will discuss bundle items. Now from here, you can create item categories, can enter description, and you can save. Go to items, list, item categories, click add category, enter item category and save. Next, list of bundle items. Now, in this system, now for an example, if you are selling items with components, for an example, you are selling computers. That computer may has a monitor, system unit, mouse, keyboard, speakers, like that components will available. Now, in this Sage Business Cloud Accounting, you can create a bundle item, and when you are selecting that bundle items, all components will display in the screen. Now we will enter one bundle item invoice, go to transactions, customer codes, add code, change this item type to bundle, and from selection, select the item and enter the quantity. Now you have seen that we have selected only computer, but other items automatically display in the screen, because this is a bundle item. System will display all components of that bundle item. Now if you change this quantity, other that components quantity also will change, and prices also will change accordingly. Right. So if you are creating bundle items without selecting each items, you can select the all components of that bundle item. You can create bundle items from items list, list of item bundles. Click add item bundle, enter item code, bundle item code. And enter description, and from here you can select components: one monitor, one mouse, two speakers, one keyboard, like that. You can enter components and enter quantity. After that, save. Okay, like this, you can create bundle items. After you create bundle items, you can invoice that bundle item without selecting each component. Okay, and also from the that item list also, you can create bundle items. You can select these items and Click create item bundle, enter bundle item code and description, and enter quantities. From here also you can create bundle items or go to items list of item bundles, add item bundle, and you can enter bundle item code, description, and select items and quantities. Okay, now you can create a bundle item. After you create bundle items, you can view bundle items from here. And you can search or delete active, inactive, multi-column settings you can do from here. And you can customize from customize grid button. Right. Next, we will move to banking master files. You can create bank and credit cards from here. Go to banking, add a bank or credit card, and you can enter bank name. And you can select the category. You can select current account, fixed asset, fixed deposit, savings account, petty cash. Like that, you can select the bank account category. Next, default payment method. There are 4 payment methods: cash, check, credit card, EFT. EFT is electronic fund transfer, and you can select the default payment method. Enter your bank name under bank name, and you can enter your bank account number. Under branch name, you can enter the branch. And there are 2 tick box, active and default. If this bank account is active account, you can tick this. And if you want to later inactivate this bank account, you can untick this active button. Next, default account. If you tick this default account, when you are entering any bank transactions, now we will enter customer receipts. When you are entering any bank transactions, that bank account will display as a default bank account. Now here, Sampath Rupee account, we will open bank account list. Now here, in this system, default bank account is this Sampath Rupee account. Therefore, when you are entering any bank transaction, that default bank account will display. And also here, we have selected default payment method as check. Default payment method as check. Therefore, it will display payment method as check. We will enter another transaction. We will enter supplier payment. Click add supplier payment. Now here also you can see default bank account is Sampath Rupee account, and default payment method is check. Next, you can select the currency. If you have foreign bank accounts, you can select that foreign currency. And if you are entering, or if you are creating the system for all company, you may have bank balances. If you have bank balances, you can enter under opening balance, and you can select opening balance as at date, and under branch code you can enter that branch code. And also when you are creating bank accounts, now for an example, in practical situations, sometimes you may have same bank 2 accounts. Now for an example, if you have Sampath Bank 2 accounts, then you can enter bank name as Sampath Bank, uh, 01 as for first account. For second account, you can enter Sampath Bank 02, or you can enter that bank account number with that bank name and the bank account number. Right. Like that, after you enter these details, you can save. Like that, you can then create your bank account. And under notes, if you want, you can add any documents, or you can add notes. By clicking this attachment button, you can add attachment. You can attach your signatories cards or scan copy of those cards and bank related documents you can add to this bank account. And sometimes you may have petty cash accounts or cash in hand accounts. That those accounts also you can create from this banking module. Go to banking and add a bank or credit card. Same method you can create. And if you have petty cash account, you can create petty cash account. And when you are entering bank name, you can enter petty cash as bank account name, and bank name also you can create as or enter as petty cash. Without bank name and bank account name, you cannot create bank accounts. Therefore, when you're creating any bank account, enter that bank account name and bank name. For if you are entering any cash control accounts or petty cash accounts also, you can enter that names for as bank name. After you create a bank account and enter transactions, you can this activity tab will activate. From here you can view your transactions, opening balance, customer receipts, supplier payments. Those details you can view from here. By clicking this detail button link, you can view uh, detailed transactions from here. After you create bank accounts, you can view list of bank accounts. You can view bank account name, bank name, account number, branch name, branch code, balance. And if you have foreign currency bank accounts, you can view the balance in foreign currency. And from actions, you can view, edit or delete these bank accounts. And by clicking this customize grid, you can customize your this bank and credit card grid. You can search bank accounts from here, and you can sort multi-columns by clicking this multi-column sorting button. You can view a number of bank accounts here, and you can sort this grid by ascending or descending order. Okay, like that you can create bank accounts. And we will wrap up for today. And we have sent a tude in the chat box. You can do that tude. And next session, we will start from bank account categories. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any questions, please ask in next session. And please practice these exercises before next session. And please go through those videos. If you want to clarify anything, please ask in next session. Okay, thank you very much. Stay safe.
Semini Damsarani, are you in the meeting? Semini, are you in the meeting?